You ever trusted someone so much you couldn't imagine they'd ever hurt you? That was Maya's biggest mistake. She believed loyalty meant something until fame got in the way. Maya and Tessa had been best friends since high school. They shared everything: dreams, laughter, even the same tiny apartment when they moved to Los Angeles chasing music. Maya was the voice, soulful and raw. Tessa was the writer, clever and ambitious. Together they were unstoppable, at least that's what Maya thought. One summer night, everything changed. A well-known producer named Andre Collins spotted Maya performing at an open mic. He told her she had something special, something real. But there was a catch. He only signed solo artists, no duos. Maya hesitated. She didn't want to leave Tessa behind. But Tessa smiled and said, "Go for it. This is your moment." That night they hugged, cried, and promised they'd always rise together. But weeks turned into months, and Maya's phone stopped ringing. Texts went unanswered, and when she finally got through to Andre's office, she heard a familiar voice in the background, Tessa's. At first, Maya thought she was imagining things, but when she checked Andre's social media, her heart dropped. There was Tessa, smiling beside him, and the caption read, "New artist alert, the next big thing." Maya couldn't believe it. Her best friend had signed with the same man who'd promised her a record deal. Overnight, Tessa became a star. Her first single, one Maya had helped her write, hit 1 million streams. She was on magazine covers, red carpets, everywhere. Meanwhile, Maya worked 2 jobs to survive. She'd smile through people's comments. "Hey, didn't you used to sing with that famous girl?" But inside she was breaking. Then one night, Maya got a call that changed everything. A small label wanted her to perform at their showcase. It wasn't much, but it was a start. She rehearsed for days. Her voice was back. Her fire was back. She was ready. But on the night of the event, someone leaked her entire set list and performance video online, hours before she even went on stage. The label dropped her instantly. The clip was everywhere, captioned, "Wannabe steals Tessa's style." Humiliated, Maya disappeared. She moved out of her apartment, deleted her socials, and started working at a diner across town. It seemed like Tessa had won, but the universe has a funny way of balancing things out. A year later, Tessa's fame began to fade. Her voice, once powerful, started cracking during live shows. Rumors spread that she was using autotune, that she wasn't the real deal. Behind the scenes, she was panicking. Her producer, Andre, had moved on to a newer, younger star. And the industry she'd betrayed her best friend for was slowly turning its back on her. One rainy night, Tessa walked into a diner after a canceled gig. And guess who was behind the counter? Maya, wearing a simple uniform, hair tied back, but with a calmness Tessa hadn't seen before. Their eyes met. For a moment, silence filled the room. Tessa stuttered, "Maya, I didn't know you worked here." Maya smiled softly. "There's a lot you didn't know." Tessa tried to explain how Andre had promised to sign both of them, how he'd said Maya wasn't ready, how he'd pressured her into going solo. But Maya wasn't angry anymore. She'd learned something Tessa never did. Peace can't be bought. Weeks passed, and word began spreading that Maya was performing again. Quietly, locally, at small events. Her voice was different now. Deeper, wiser, filled with pain and purpose. Someone recorded one of her performances and posted it online with the caption, "The voice the industry forgot." Within days, it went viral. People were moved by her story, the betrayed artist who rose again. Major labels started calling, but Maya ignored them all. She didn't want fame anymore. She wanted authenticity. Then one night, Tessa showed up backstage after one of Maya's shows. Her eyes were tired, makeup smeared, fame weighing heavy on her shoulders. She said, "Maya, I need your help. Andre, he's threatening me. He says if I don't give him what he wants, he'll ruin me." Maya stared at her, the same woman who'd stolen everything from her, now begging for help. She took a deep breath. "You made your choices, Tessa, and now you're living them." Tessa broke down in tears. "Please, I have proof he's been blackmailing artists. I don't know who else to trust." For a long moment, Maya said nothing. That note on her windshield played over and over in her mind. "You should have stayed quiet. Fame comes with a price." Her hands trembled as she read it again under the streetlight. Someone was watching her. Someone wanted her scared. But Maya had been silent once before, and it had cost her everything. Not this time. The next morning she went to the police, but they brushed her off. No forced entry, no witnesses, no credible threat. They told her to file a report and wait. But she couldn't just wait. Not when Tessa was missing. The last time they spoke, Tessa had said she was heading to a hotel downtown to meet a reporter who promised to help expose Andre's corruption. But now she was gone. No check-in records, no security footage, nothing. Maya started digging. She called everyone she knew from their music days. Sound engineers, dancers, old producers. Most didn't want to talk, but one finally did. A nervous studio assistant named Jamal. He whispered through the phone, "Andre's not who you think he is. People who cross him, they disappear. He's got dirt on everyone." When Maya asked what kind of dirt, Jamal's voice shook. "He records everything, every meeting, every deal. He uses it to control them." Then the line went dead. Maya's heart raced. If what Jamal said was true, Tessa's evidence could destroy Andre. And that made Tessa dangerous. Too dangerous to stay alive. That night, Maya broke into Tessa's apartment. It was dark, the air still heavy with the smell of perfume and fear. Papers were scattered everywhere. Contracts, receipts, half-written letters. On the floor near the bed, she found a flash drive. It had a label that read insurance. Maya plugged it into her laptop. At first, nothing. Then a folder appeared. Audio files. The first one made her blood run cold. It was Andre's voice. "You think you can walk away from me, Tessa? I made you. I can end you." Then another voice, Tessa's, trembling. "You can't control everyone, Andre. People will find out." His reply was a low chuckle. "Not if I control the narrative." Before Maya could play the next file, she heard a noise outside. Footsteps. Slow. Heavy. She yanked out the flash drive and turned off the lights. A shadow moved past the window. Then another. Someone was out there. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "We warned you. Leave it alone." Maya ran. She didn't even lock the door. She drove through the night until she reached her cousin's place 2 towns away. But even there, she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. She opened the flash drive again, this time determined to listen to everything. In one recording, Andre mentioned a meeting at the pier. The date? Tomorrow night. This was her chance. If she could record him admitting to something, anything, she could clear Tessa's name and expose his entire operation. She contacted a local journalist named Leah, someone known for taking on powerful people. Leah agreed to meet her at the pier, promising to bring a camera and backup. But when Maya arrived, the place was deserted. The wind howled through broken fences. Waves crashed against the dock. And then she saw a car, Andre's black Mercedes, parked near a warehouse. She crept closer, phone in hand recording. Through a cracked window, she saw him, Andre, standing with two men, shouting into his phone. "I told you to deal with her. If she's talking to anyone else, I'll handle it myself." Maya's pulse quickened. She moved closer, trying to catch every word. Then her phone buzzed again, a new message. This time, it was a video. She opened it and froze. It was Tessa, tied to a chair, blindfolded, bruised. A voice off camera said, "You wanted the truth? Here it is." Maya gasped. The noise caught Andre's attention. He turned sharply toward the window. Their eyes met for the first time in years. The man who'd taken everything from her, now realizing she was still fighting back. He lunged toward the door. Maya ran. Her heart pounded as she sprinted across the pier, footsteps chasing her. She made it to her car, slammed the door, and sped off. Her phone kept buzzing, message after message from the unknown number. But when she glanced at the screen, the texts weren't threats anymore. They were warnings. "They're coming for you, too. It's not just Andre. You don't know who you're dealing with." Maya pulled over, breath shaky, hands trembling on the steering wheel. She opened her camera and recorded a voice note. "If anything happens to me, the truth is on this drive. Don't believe what they say. Tell my story." She looked into the lens, tears glistening in her eyes. "And Tessa, if you're still alive, I'm coming for you." Then suddenly, headlights appeared in her rearview mirror. A black SUV, no license plate. It pulled closer, closer, until its high beams blinded her. Maya floored the gas and swerved onto an old dirt road, the tires screaming. The SUV followed. Her phone fell to the floor, still recording. The last thing the camera captured was Maya's terrified whisper. "They found me." Then the screen went dark. But 2 days later, her phone was found on the side of the road, still recording. And the last voice on the tape, it wasn't Maya's. It was Andre's, calm, cold. "You should have learned from Tessa. Fame isn't free." They said Maya vanished without a trace. But that wasn't true. The truth was buried under the flashing lights, the silence of the studio, and the contracts signed in blood, not ink. When detectives questioned Andre, his voice was steady, his face unreadable. "She was talented," he said, "but unstable." The same words he used for Tessa, the same pattern. But what no one knew was that Maya wasn't gone. Yet. Hours before her phone was found, she had managed to escape the mansion. Her face was bruised, her clothes torn, and she clutched that flash drive like her life depended on it. Because it did. It held everything. Contracts, recordings, even footage of Andre threatening artists who tried to leave his label. Every scream, every silence, every plea. Maya knew if she could just get it to the right hands, Andre's empire would crumble. But someone was already following her. She ducked into a diner, trembling as she ordered coffee, pretending to scroll through her phone. In the corner, a man in a dark hoodie watched her reflection through the window. When she looked up, he was gone. For a moment, she thought maybe it was paranoia, until her phone buzzed. An unknown number, a voice message. She pressed play, and chills ran down her spine. It was her mother's voice. "Maya, please." "They came to the house. Leave town. Don't come home." Then silence. Maya's heart raced. She had nowhere safe to go, no one to trust. Everyone she once called a friend was either gone or bought. Except one name came to mind: Darius, the sound engineer who quit after Tessa's death. Rumors said he'd gone off-grid after trying to expose Andre. If anyone could help, it was him. She reached a small motel that night, her hoodie pulled over her head, her hands still clutching the flash drive. As she checked in, the TV behind the counter was showing a news alert. Andre Kingston's label expands partnership with Global Music Network. He was celebrating while she was running for her life. Inside her room, she booted up her old laptop and backed up the flash drive. But before the files could finish copying, there was a soft knock on the door. 3 slow taps. She froze. Another knock, louder this time. "Maya," a voice whispered. "It's Darius." Relief flooded through her as she opened the door. He looked older, thinner, but his eyes still carried that same quiet strength. "You shouldn't have come back," he said. "Andre's people are everywhere. Tessa tried to go public too. They made sure no one ever heard her story." Maya showed him the flash drive. "Then we make them hear mine." Darius hesitated, then nodded. "Okay, but we can't go to the police. Half of them work for him. We'll need to leak it. Anonymous." They spent hours piecing together the evidence. But just as they were about to upload it, the lights flickered. Then, darkness. The laptop screen went black. A car engine roared outside. Darius peeked through the blinds, and his face drained of color. "They found us!" Maya grabbed the drive and ran for the back door as headlights cut through the room. Gunshots shattered the window. Darius yelled, "Go!" as glass exploded around them. She sprinted into the alley, rain pouring down, tires screeching behind her. She ducked behind dumpsters, heart pounding like a drum. Then, silence. The car door opened. Heavy footsteps echoed closer. She held her breath. "Maya," a voice said softly, "you can't run forever." It was Andre. He wasn't even angry, just calm, almost amused. "You think you're the first one to try? Fame always has a cost. Some people just can't afford it." He stepped closer. Lightning flashed. Maya gripped the flash drive tighter, whispering, "Then maybe it's time you pay yours." Before he could react, she threw the drive into a storm drain. "You'll never find it." His smirk faltered. Then his tone changed. Cold and venomous. "Neither will anyone find you." A black SUV screeched to a stop beside him. 2 men grabbed her, dragging her into the car as she kicked and screamed. Darius stumbled into the alley just in time to see the taillights vanish into the rain. He was bleeding from the shoulder, but alive. And as he watched the storm drain overflow, a small silver flash caught his eye. The flash drive, half buried in water. Darius picked it up, clutching it tight. "Hold on, Maya," he whispered. "This isn't over." 2 days later, the news broke again, this time louder. Rising star Maya Cole missing. Foul play suspected. Andre appeared on national TV faking tears, calling her a bright soul gone too soon. But behind the camera, his phone buzzed with a message. Just 3 words. "I have everything." He froze. The number wasn't saved, But the voice message that followed made his blood run cold. It was Maya, alive. You were right, Andre. Fame isn't free, but justice isn't either. Andre's hand trembled as he replayed the voice note over and over. Maya's voice echoed through his penthouse. Soft, steady, haunting. You were right, Andre. Fame isn't free, but justice isn't either. He stumbled backward, his glass crashing to the floor. The room suddenly felt smaller, darker. For the first time, the man who made stars kneel was shaking in his $1,000 shoes. She's gone, he muttered to himself. She's gone. But the message said otherwise. He rushed to his office, slammed the door, and opened his private server, only to find chaos. Every hidden file, every buried truth, every signed NDA, gone, replaced with one single folder on his desktop. Title, The Price. His fingers trembled as he clicked it open. The videos began to play one after another. Every deal he'd fixed, every artist he'd silenced, every threat he'd ever made. Tessa crying in his office, Maya confronting him, his own face cold and calculated, caught in high definition. His empire was burning, and Maya was holding the match. He threw his laptop against the wall, screaming. But just as it shattered, his phone buzzed again. A live stream notification. Channel name, Maya Cole, the truth behind the fame. His face filled the screen, mid-threat, mid-lie, mid-control. Thousands were watching. Comments flooded in. Is this real? He's finished. Justice for Tessa. Justice for Maya. Andre staggered back. The walls of his empire, the studio, the money, the power, felt like a coffin closing in. He grabbed his keys, raced down to his car, and drove into the night. The rain came down heavy, like the heavens were washing him away. The location from Maya's message led him to an old recording warehouse. The same one where she had once sung barefoot and full of dreams. He stepped inside, and the lights flickered on automatically. On the table lay a flash drive, and next to it, a microphone glowing faintly. He picked up the mic and whispered, Maya, what do you want from me? Her voice came through the speakers, recorded, clear, unshaken. The same thing you took from us. A voice. He dropped the mic, fear crawling up his spine. Then the sirens began. Red and blue lights filled the warehouse windows. The FBI stormed in, cameras flashing. Andre raised his hands, eyes wide with disbelief. You can't do this. You don't know who I am. An agent stepped forward, holding the flash drive. We do now. Outside, rain mixed with tears as Maya stood at a distance under an umbrella, her face calm, strong, and full of pain. A reporter approached. Maya, is it true you exposed him? She looked into the camera, voice steady. It's not about exposing him. It's about freeing everyone he trapped. The video of Andre's arrest went viral within hours. Artists began coming forward. Names, stories, evidence. The industry that once bowed to him now turned its back. Within days, his empire collapsed. Sponsors withdrew, contracts dissolved. Andre Thompson, music's untouchable king, was dethroned by the same girl he once dismissed as just another dreamer. Weeks later, Maya stood on a small stage at a local event. No lights, no glitz, no labels. Just her guitar, and a quiet crowd. She took a deep breath and said, "This song is for everyone who was told they weren't enough, for everyone who was silenced." Her fingers brushed the strings, and her voice filled the room. Raw, honest, beautiful. As she sang, clips of her story played online. Her betrayal, her fall, her rise. Comments flooded in. You made us believe again. This is what strength looks like. Justice served. But Maya wasn't thinking about revenge anymore. She was thinking about Tessa, the friend who'd lost herself chasing what wasn't real. After her performance, she walked to the shore where she and Tessa used to dream as teenagers. She placed a single rose in the water and whispered, "We made it, Tess. You and me." The wind carried her words out to sea, and for the first time in a long time, Maya smiled. Not the smile of fame, the smile of peace. Andre's trial began 3 months later. The courtroom was silent as Maya took the stand. She didn't cry. She didn't tremble. She simply told the truth. The evidence spoke for itself. The world watched as the verdict was read. Guilty on all counts. Andre looked at her one last time as he was led away, his voice barely audible. "You destroyed me." Maya met his gaze unflinching. "No, Andre. You destroyed yourself. I just gave the world the mic." The gavel fell. The story was over, but not the message. Because in that moment, across millions of screens, one truth echoed louder than fame ever could. Justice isn't always loud. Sometimes it just takes courage to speak. Maya walks through a quiet street at night, the same street where it all began. Her reflection glows in the rain-soaked pavement, microphone in hand. In a world obsessed with fame, she found her freedom in truth. If you believe that no lie can silence the truth forever, hit subscribe and turn on notifications for more powerful stories like this.